Let's start with a quick rule. When you hear the word cult, don't picture robes and candles right away. The most dangerous cult leaders didn't look crazy at first. They looked convincing, charismatic, safe, and that's exactly how they won. We'll start with the least immediately deadly and slowly work our way toward the ones who turned belief into a body count. Number 10. Keith Raniere. On the surface, Keith Raniere sold himself as the smartest man in the room. He ran something called NXVIM, which he claimed was a self-improvement program. People paid thousands of dollars to attend seminars where Raniere taught them how to unlock their potential. What he was actually doing was building a hierarchy of control. At the top was him. Always him. Women were slowly groomed into a secret inner group where they were blackmailed with personal secrets and explicit photos. They were starved, isolated, and branded with his initials using a cauterizing pen. And yes, he called this empowerment. The danger here wasn't mass death, it was psychological destruction. Careers ruined, families torn apart. People turned into property without realizing it until it was too late. Number 9. Bhagwan Shree Rajneesh. Better known as Osho, this man created a massive commune in Oregon during the 1980s. Thousands of followers believed he was enlightened. Free love, meditation, spiritual awakening. Sounds peaceful, until it wasn't. His inner circle carried out the largest bioterror attack in US history by poisoning salad bars with salmonella to influence a local election. Hundreds got sick. The cult stockpiled weapons. There were assassination plots, wiretapping, immigration fraud. The entire operation collapsed, but not before proving that a cult doesn't need rituals and chanting to be dangerous. All it needs is loyalty and a leader who believes rules don't apply to him. Number 8. Marshall Applewhite. Marshall Applewhite believed Earth was about to be recycled. His cult, Heaven's Gate, thought a spaceship was hiding behind a comet. The only way to escape was to leave their human bodies behind, which is cult leader language for suicide. Applewhite didn't force his followers at gunpoint, he convinced them. That's what makes this terrifying. 39 people calmly dressed in matching outfits laid down and poisoned themselves in 1997. They truly believed they were ascending to a higher level. Applewhite didn't just kill people, he convinced them that death was a reward. Number 7. David Koresh. David Koresh led the Branch Davidians in Waco, Texas. He claimed he was a prophet chosen to open the 7 seals from the Book of Revelation. He also claimed exclusive sexual access to the women in the group, including underage girls, because God said so. When federal agents attempted to arrest him, it triggered a 51-day standoff. Koresh framed it as persecution. The outside world was evil. Only he could protect them. The compound eventually burned down, killing more than 70 people, including children. Whether you blame Koresh, the government, or both, the result was the same. A cult leader who convinced people to die with him rather than live without him. Number 6. Sun Myung Moon. Moon founded the Unification Church and convinced followers that he and his wife were the true parents of humanity. Mass weddings with thousands of couples became his signature move. Followers gave him money, time, and their entire identity. While Moon didn't personally order mass murder, his cult reached deep into politics, business, and media. The danger here was scale. Generations raised inside the belief system, families arranged like chess pieces, absolute loyalty enforced through spiritual guilt. This was a cult that didn't need a violent ending to be dangerous. It just kept going. Number 5. Shoko Asahara. Now we enter the genuinely unhinged zone. Shoko Asahara founded Om Shinryoku in Japan. He believed he was Christ, Buddha, and the final savior rolled into one. He predicted an apocalypse and decided to speed it up. His cult developed chemical weapons, real ones. In 1995, they released sarin gas in the Tokyo subway during rush hour. 13 people died, thousands were injured. The goal wasn't just chaos, it was to weaken society so the cult could rise afterward. This wasn't delusion alone, it was organized terror disguised as spirituality. Number 4. Jim Jones. You already know where this is going. Jim Jones started as a preacher who talked about equality and social justice. He attracted people who genuinely wanted to make the world better. Then he isolated them, controlled their finances, monitored their thoughts, moved them to Guyana, far away from outsiders. He told them the world was against them. When journalists and officials started asking questions, Jones decided the experiment was over. In 1978, over 900 people died in Jonestown after being forced or coerced into drinking poisoned punch. Children went first. Let that sink in. This wasn't mass suicide, it was mass murder dressed up as loyalty. Number 3. Charles Manson. Charles Manson didn't need a large cult, he needed the right people. He convinced his followers that an apocalyptic race war was coming and that murder would trigger it. He never physically committed the most famous crimes himself. He didn't need to. He programmed others to do it for him. The Tate LaBianca murders shocked the world, not just because of the brutality, but because the killers believed they were doing something righteous. Manson proved that a cult leader doesn't need numbers, just influence. Number 2. Joseph Kony. Joseph Kony led the Lord's Resistance Army. This wasn't a cult in robes, it was a cult with guns. Kony claimed spiritual visions and divine authority while abducting tens of thousands of children. Boys were turned into soldiers, girls into sex slaves. If children tried to escape, they were forced to kill other children as punishment. The psychological control was absolute. Fear replaced belief. Obedience replaced faith. Kony is still at large, and that's the scariest part. Some cult leaders die in prison, others simply disappear. Number 1. Roch Thériault. If you've never heard this name, brace yourself. Roch Thériault led a cult in Canada called the Ant Hill Kids. He claimed he was a prophet preparing for the apocalypse. What followed was pure horror. Members were beaten, tortured, and mutilated. Thériault performed amateur surgeries without anesthesia. He removed teeth, fingers, and body parts as punishment. One woman had her arm amputated with a chainsaw. Several members died. Others survived with lifelong injuries. This wasn't symbolic violence, it was constant, hands-on brutality. The cult didn't end with poison or fire. It ended slowly, painfully, body by body. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Every single one of these cults started with trust. Not fear, not violence, trust. That's what makes cult leaders dangerous. They don't force the door open, they invite you inside, then lock it behind you. If you think you'd never fall for something like this, remember this: nobody joins a cult. They join something that feels right.